Happy Friday, everybody. Another big week is behind us again. Let's talk planning. We'll try to leave the market update till Monday. Check it out then. Today is February 2nd, 2024, and this is your Friday planning video. This is the first Friday in February, and it's hard to believe that we're already 1 month into the year. Let's talk about one of the top items that's going to come into play really quickly. Tax return season is here, or it's coming soon for most of us. I want to note that this is the time for tax scams, so please be careful. Here are a few tips. Thanks to First American Bank for these tips. First, beware of texts, emails, and other messages that claim to be the IRS. As a general rule, the IRS will not contact you via email, text messages, or social media requesting sensitive information. Next, don't click on the links that ask you to fill out a form to check the status of your refund. If you visit the IRS website, that should be where you can easily check for your status. Third, be careful with your tax documents. When they're digital, be sure to password protect your digital files. If you're like me and you print everything and keep lots of paper, be sure to store them in a secure location. Shred anything you don't need. I know it's hard to believe that someone will grab your information from the trash, but it happens all the time, so guard that information well. Finally, for today, for the tax return list, and this one seems to be obvious, but we're seeing so many things that make us scratch our heads. Don't trust those that contact you with the urgency for immediate payments, especially when it comes to prepaid debit cards, gift cards, and wire transfers. The IRS will typically mail you a letter to anyone who owes money. There is a taxpayer's guide to identity theft available on the IRS website, so you can check that out as well. Okay, let's move on to a short list to work on as we start the new year. First, it's a good time to review your investment plan. And like I've told you about a lot of things, why do your investments look the way they do? Why do you own what you do, and what are you expecting from those investments? This is everything from what stocks and other investments that you have to what the risk level looks like. Next, the other side of the balance sheet, get a plan to pay off the debt that you're carrying. This also runs the gamut from high interest credit cards to mortgages. Overall, any debt you have, how are you going to get rid of it? Next, do you have an emergency fund? Contrary to popular belief, there is no sure rule on what this number is. Please, let's talk about it and call me to discuss it. How about making a budget? And yes, one that can be followed. I wouldn't shoot too high, and I would try to prepare a little bit for the worst. Just like the budget and the debt, review what you're spending your money on and determine how to make any necessary adjustments. This will be based on how much you want to save and how much you need for your day-to-day. Two last ones for today. First, review your spending. Know that if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. If the expenses outweigh the income, there are only two ways to fix it. You can either redo the spending habits or find a way to bring in more income. Also, check and recheck your retirement plans. And those options, as I mentioned a while ago, if you don't have one, let's get one set up for you. Maybe a SEP plan, a simple plan, an IRA, a Roth IRA. Which one's good for you? Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. One last thing. I hope everyone is feeling really well, but planning for the rain before the first drop falls, that is setting up your estate plan. This is one of the hardest things to convince you to do, but it can really be one of the most important. Start to check around. For now, those are some ideas for today as we get going into month 2 of the year. Come back on Monday for the market update, and for now, have a great weekend.